right? Okay, well, I tried to figure it out with OBS Studio and it's all working except for one thing, and it's time to start meditation. So this is the type of time where I think, well, 5 more minutes, and I can keep thinking that for a long time. So if you're joining in, it's not important if you make the time or don't make the time, but try to have like a ritual time that you start on, and don't get hung up on it. If you're 5 minutes late, you're 5 minutes late, but it is something to hold on to, and the ritual will give you a habit to fall into. So I know that if I sit down, then the urgency will fade, and this is not how I wanted it, and that is all going on. But we're going to do a meditation. Or at least I'm going to do one, and you do whatever you want. I start by shifting my attention to my breathing. Just noticing the breathing, not changing anything, not forcing anything. Noticing the I'm gonna say stuff because there's no better word presenting itself. The stuff whatever is supporting you. Notice whatever is supporting you. That's what I meant. I'm a bit confused, so I'm just gonna shut up and meditate. Maybe you were checking in to hear the rest of the story. I'll do that when the sound is right, because now we get this terrible clicking, so just skip on to the next one. For now, I want to thank you that you join me, because I see people joining me, like 14 people, something like that. That's amazing. I never would have thought. It's a good feeling to sit together in silence, even if we can't see each other. You know you're not doing this alone. This can help. In those moments where we think, what the heck am I doing? Why am I taking so much time out of my life? That type of, isn't this a waste of time? No, it's not. For me, it's an absolute necessity to sit, be quiet, because else I get very confused. It's medicinal for me. So this is not a contest of who can meditate most. I don't expect you to meditate every hour. But for me, that is the best practice I've found. And yes, it takes a big chunk out of my day, but at least I have a day. So we're share our silence. I try to provide some calming graphics because lately I'm not always closing my eyes. I like to have something meaningless to look at. So noticing the breath. Notice when you're breathing in. Notice when you're breathing out. Find any stress points in your body as you breathe out. Sigh and release. When you breathe in a smile and be thankful. Just general thankfulness for there to be anything at all. Just experience in general. The miracle that there actually is something to be me. It's like something to be me. Complicated sentence. There's an experience of being me, which is incredible if you think about it. Nobody knows what it is, what its nature is. Any theory you have is okay, but probably not true. I have my theories, and I will share them. Know that I know they're not true. I have even very little hope that they're a sliver of the truth. But it's what works for me. It helps me to get into a contemplative mindset. It helps me to make some kind of sense out of these very subtle perceptions. And it's not about agreeing or disagreeing. I expect you to disagree. That just means you found your own silence and that you're accessing your own symbols to describe it. And that feels true for you. Like whatever I am feeling feels true for me. So whenever I say something that you disagree with, you can just disregard it. You know better. Because you know you better. I'm not an expert on you. I'm not even sure I'm an expert on me. But I'm sure that I am. Very little that you can say about anything. But this is the challenge. To somehow bridge this mindset to the everyday mindset. not about trouble implies that it's about trouble, which is the trouble with language. It's neither. We're gonna talk about trouble in the future. And we're gonna talk about how trouble isn't really real. And it's both gonna be true. So if that melts your mind, good. I think most people will think I'm talking gibberish. That's okay. Language can only convey an experience that you've both had. We can only talk about red because you have your own conception of red. There's no way of knowing if my red is actually your red, but we seem to understand each other. In the same way, I can talk about this and we will find common ground if you've had this experience or anything like it. If not, no matter what I say, will make any sense. The direct experience of not thinking. Not categorizing. And eventually not even placing sounds in categories. Not making things and events. Not even gauging the direction of a sound or having any spatial awareness. And at this point you might hear my voice but might not come together to words or sentences or even meaning, or it might just fade as soon as it enters your consciousness. That's okay. I'm here to reassure you that you're safe. To give you kind of an anchor that if you drift off, I remind you, this is what we're doing. Nothing. We're not forcing. We just mind our breath. As soon as we start thinking again, go back to the breath. And don't mind thoughts. They're welcome. Don't mind emotions. They're old friends. Welcome them in. Greet them. Ask them what they're all about today. When they want to go or when they just disappear. That's okay too. Be the best host there is to these thoughts and feelings and experiences. But don't engage. Don't get sucked into the stories, the reasons why, the things we have to do, the urgency. Don't engage. It can be fun to play with it, and eventually you get sucked in, you have a little adventure, and you come back here and just be quiet when it's a guided meditation. But I don't want to keep tugging at you with words. Because words are from the realm of problems, classifications, symbols. So instead of my words having meaning, try to see it as just the sound of a voice. Like when you were in bed, going to sleep as a child. Your parents were having a party. You couldn't make out the voices. It would just be a general murmur and a feeling of safety of nearby adults having fun, sometimes laughing real hard, and then you'd wake up a bit. You'd just drift off again. Never even trying to follow the conversation, just listening to the general feeling of it. And the trick to do that is to not listen to the meaning of the words, but look at the shape of the words. Listen to the silences between the words. If a word is sounding, just wait for the pause. And then eventually the words will lose meaning. And that part of your brain will have not shut down, but will be rested. So next time I'm going to try to get to be live at 17:17. That's pretty quickly already. We're gonna try it. If it doesn't work, just gonna add another video like this. Probably terrible clicking sounds. Just think that if it was a roaring fire, you wouldn't mind the clicking. It would just be water exploding from the logs. It would add to the coziness of the whole experience. But I'll try to get you better sound. And me better sound. Anyway, thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining in. And I'll see you next time. Hope you have a great rest of your day.